What is going on, guys? It's your boy Mainomai here, and welcome back to the channel for another FM21 Wonderkids video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some top young right back prospects that could well become Wonderkids or elite players on this year's game, given the right training and development. Before we do jump in to today's video though, guys, you are going to want to make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you don't want to miss any more FM21 Wonderkids videos. I'm looking to bring out plenty of these videos throughout this year's game cycle, guys. We're going to be covering all types of positions, looking at players for different budgets, you name it, we're going to be looking at it. So yeah, make sure you're not missing out on those videos moving forward. So then, before we jump right in and start running through the short list of players that we're going to look at in today's video, I just wanted to kind of establish a benchmark really, and sort of agree a standard that we're going to look for our potential Wonderkid right backs to get to after a few years on the game. So just by looking at the attributes of Trent Alexander-Arnold here, we can see that we're going to be looking for, first of all, a really well-rounded player to begin with. And then we're going to hope that their crossing, passing, technique and vision are all going to improve over time. It would be nice to get someone that's maybe got a little bit more pace than Trent has. He's not blisteringly quick, and obviously he's not the best defensive right back in world football right now. So if we could get someone that, you know, has that technical ability coupled with some really astute defending, that'd obviously be beneficial. I'm not sure we're going to get someone who's, you know, a set piece expert like Trent can be at times, but that'll obviously be a nice little bonus as well. But yeah, essentially, guys, just a quick recap. We're looking for someone that's really well rounded, and then we're hoping that some of those key attributes that we're seeing there can be developed over a couple of years. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right in and start looking at this short list of players that have made the cut then. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to kick things off with a player that I would consider to be a slow burner. Now, he's certainly not going to be the best player featured in today's video, but 18-year-old Ian Glavinovic, for me, you know, for the right price, is certainly worth signing if you're looking to develop him sort of medium to long term. Or to be honest, if you're sort of a lower league side and you're looking for an immediate right back to sort of stick with through the years, just like Liverpool did with Trent, because obviously he was very raw and rough and ready when they started playing him in the first team. So as we can see here, he's got some of the fundamentals. So he's crossing solid, passing is solid, his tackling's good. 13 tackling for an 18-year-old isn't bad. 12 technique is pretty sound. His vision does need some work though, but I do think with that 16 determination and his fairly determined personality that he will develop quite a bit actually in the future. If you sort of give him the right first team minutes and the right training, etc. And some mentoring could help as well. So this is certainly one for people that are on a stricter budget. His base value is only 170k. His wages are £25 per week, so really cheap, guys. Although what I would say is that usually when you're signing a young South American like this, if you're say a European side, to make that move, usually they're going to want a massive jump up in wages. I'd be very interested to see how cheap someone could sign this guy and how he might develop. Obviously he might look very different in your save. This just happens to be the database and a save that I've loaded up to take a look at some players. Yeah, let me know what you think of this one, guys. I think definitely one for those of you that are on a tighter budget. I do think he'll do a very good job for most teams, so certainly someone I'd be interested in this year, guys. Next up, guys, we're going to take a look at 18-year-old Killian Sardella. Now, he is a Belgian youth international playing his football at Anderlecht, and we all know the reputation that Anderlecht have for developing young players. I think, to be honest, Sardella is, well, to be honest, 100% he's a step up in class from Glavinovic, who we looked at previously. Technically, he's very solid. Some of his mentals are good as well for such a young player, although again his vision does need a bit of work, but in my experience that does improve over time and it's certainly trainable, so that's not too much of a problem there. Acceleration and pace are very solid indeed. In fact, he's already as quick as Trent is on the game. Natural fitness 18, that's very good. Just want to see his stamina and work rate improve ever so slightly. But here, guys, we have a player that I think is ready for first team football at most teams. I'm unsure of sort of Anderlecht's willingness to let him go in the first season. It does say here his base worth is only 125k. He's on 1.8k wages per week. We're just going to check to see if he has a buyout clause. No, he doesn't. And his contract doesn't run for much longer, guys. So maybe Anderlecht are hedging their bets on this one and wondering if he will develop into the player that they previously thought he would. Or maybe it's a case of the players holding out to move to a team sort of in a more reputable league across Europe. But 100% a player I would be interested on this year's game. I signed him on last year's game and he was incredible. I don't expect any different this year. But yeah, certainly someone that you guys should be looking to bring in on your saves this year if you're able to. So you can't talk about Wonderkids on Football Manager for too long without ending up in South America and Brazil more specifically. Here we have 18-year-old Kaligari. He plays his football at Fluminense and is a Brazilian youth player. As you can see here, guys, we were talking about that solid foundation and well-roundedness that we're looking for in some of the better prospects in today's video. And I think Kaligari here sets the tone. As we can see, a very solid foundation, but his dribbling, first touch, tackling, technique are all 14, very good. He's already pretty mobile, 15 acceleration, 14 pace. His stamina's good, 14. Work rate is very good as well. This guy is obviously a step up in class from the two players that we've looked at previously, and obviously his transfer value and wages reflect that. So at the moment, he's worth £1.5 million. He's on 4.9k per week. On a fairly long-term contract as well, guys. So he's not going to be the easiest player to sign. I think Fluminense will try and hold on to him as much as they can. So naturally, that means you're probably going to end up paying an awful lot more money for him than the players we've mentioned previously. But if you've got the money, then I would 100% take a calculated risk on this player. I think he's going to improve a fair bit in the future. He hasn't got particularly high determination and he's only got a balanced personality, but I do think this lad is already a very solid player for most clubs and could go on to be a very good player indeed on this year's game. So we are staying in Brazil to take a look at 19-year-old Kelvin, who is a Brazilian youth international player playing at Atlético Paranaense, and we're carrying on the theme of well-rounded players here, guys. Nothing particularly stands out about this young man, but he does have that solid foundation, the building blocks to become a very, very good and solid, well-rounded fullback on this year's game. Now, in terms of his ability to improve in the future, he has only got 12 determination. As I'm looking at him right here, that obviously might change on your own saves. He's only got a balanced personality as well. But I do think, playing him in your first team at a solid level for a number of years will see this young man improve. Couple that with good training and really good mentoring as well. If you've got a senior pro that can teach him a thing or two, I think you'll end up with an elite level player here, guys. He's obviously only 19 and can do a lot of improving in the future. And as I said right at the start of the video, if we just get a few incremental increases on those attributes over sort of 2 or 3 years, you're looking at a top player. So certainly someone I'll be looking to bring in if I had the money. Whilst we're talking about money, obviously you can see here his value is £775,000. He's on 3.4k per week and he's on a medium-term deal really until 2024. You might have to work hard to get this player. As you can see here, he's got a £17.5 million release clause, but that only applies to domestic clubs. So if you're a European team, you may be able to get him for a lot cheaper than that. But again, with release clauses, the club might stick to it. They might even want more because you're a European team if you are managing in Europe. So yeah, certainly someone I'd like to use on this year's game. I've not used him before. Let me know in the comments if you have yourself and how he performed for you. But I'm definitely interested in him and I hope that you guys will be too. So in my opinion, if you're looking for the next Trent Alexander-Arnold on FM21, you don't have to look very far, guys. He also plays for Liverpool, and he is 19-year-old Nico Williams, a Welsh international who he seems to have that foundation that we were looking for at the start of today's video, but he's already showing signs of developing those key attributes that we were looking for. He's already got 15 crossing and 12 technique. He's got decent vision already in 11, solid passing, fairly good determination. He's relatively quick as well, guys. Considering he's 6'2", 14 acceleration and 15 pace is very, very good indeed. He's got good stamina, good natural fitness, really good work rate. He's a tall lad as well. You know, he's just got a bit of everything, to be honest. He's even got some really favourable player traits. He runs with the ball down the right, gets into the opposition area and gets forward whenever possible. So he's going to do that same job of pegging back the opposition by taking up positions really hard up the pitch and getting really dangerous crosses into the box from day one, really. Unfortunately for those of us that aren't managing Liverpool on the game, he has signed a long-term contract until 2025. His base value is 1.8 million and he's on 8k per week. Now, I personally think you'll be able to get him on loan in the first season. If you're a team playing in the English leagues, lower down in the Premier League, or you are a sort of mid to lower table Premier League side, I'd definitely be looking to bring him in on loan if he is listed. But I guess the same applies anywhere across Europe or anywhere else as well, really, to be honest. If they are looking to loan him out, 100% pick him up. It'll be interesting to see how he develops, you know, on your own saves, whether he stays at Liverpool, whether they opt to bring someone in who's already sort of an elite level. But if that's the case and they look to move him on, you know, there should be a long queue for takers, because I think this kid on this year's game is going to go right to the very top, as he did on last year's game. So they are the players that we are looking at in today's video, guys. They're just my picks. Obviously, there is a short list here of players that share similar attributes. Serginho Dest is a very interesting player indeed, a top young prospect, but having just signed for Barcelona, you know, you're going to struggle to get him out of there. You could do it on loan, or if he, you know, doesn't quite cut the mustard at Barca, you might be able to pick him up a few seasons in. So certainly someone I'll be interested in. A very good player indeed. But I just wanted to make sure I picked players that were accessible to you guys, and you know, pick players that are at different price points, different levels of ability to cater for everyone's FM21 saves, really. And I hope I've done that. If you have enjoyed today's video, guys, go ahead and smash that like button for me. It's really, really helpful and helps get the video out to a wider audience and helps the channel grow as well. So I really would appreciate that. If you have used or are going to use any of the players in today's video, let us know in the comment section below. Or if you've got any recommendations of your own, I'd also be interested in hearing about those as well. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, guys, go ahead and smash that sub button for me and turn notifications on so that you don't miss any future content on Wonderkids this year. I'm going to be releasing a hell of a lot of videos on Wonderkids, some tactics stuff as well, and I've also got a fairly interesting Let's Play series with RB Amsterdam over in the Dutch second tier that you guys might be interested in following as well. So finally though, guys, thank you very much for taking the time out to watch today's video. I really do appreciate your support. Until next time though, take care of yourselves, take care of your friends and family as well. Make sure you check in on everyone that you need to. It's a tough time at the moment. But until next time, cheers.